Welcome to Gaia's Love, a podcast to guide you home into your human journey here on Earth. My name is Vivienne Gerard, and it is my delight to co-create with Gaia and share our messages from Source in this now moment. Here we go. Episode 462. It is Thursday here in Cincinnati. It's a little foggy and gray outside. I am coming to you on a full moon in Leo, which is square Jupiter in Taurus and opposite Pluto in Aquarius. It is highly charged energy today. It is also my 53rd birthday tomorrow, and it was my dad's 84th birthday yesterday. So I am coming to you filled with so much energy moving, excitement, anticipation, joy bubbling over, just all the feels. I'm coming to you with all the feels. Today's title is Birthday Authenticity version 24, short for 2024. I wanted to add Birthday Authenticity version 24, version Pluto in Aquarius, version next level. Who am I? There's so much awareness that is happening for me. I'm sure it is amplified by this full moon in Leo. I'm sure it's amplified by Pluto in Aquarius. And yeah, I want to share where I am and how I'm feeling, and also, I guess, offer to you this energy transmission of I'm exploring it for my birthday for this year, and it's sitting here waiting for you to explore for your birthday this year. So Birthday Authenticity version 24 is for you. It's for me. It's for all of us as a humanity as we are evolving and landing in this new energy of Pluto and Aquarius. I know many people I talk to are like, I don't get it. I don't know why it's even relevant. I don't feel any different. I don't understand why you're so amped up about this Pluto and Aquarius shift. And what I want to say is get ready. Get ready. The energy is shifting. I'm seeing it ripple already in so many people's lives. So many of the big people, I guess I shouldn't say big, the influencers I see who have big platforms, many of them are going through some very significant shifts. And it could be based on all kinds of things. I feel like the current underneath it is Pluto and Aquarius. And we are going to see ripples through humanity at a consciousness level that we can't quite understand yet. What I always say in my work is energy first, physical second. We're going to feel the energy rippling before we see the manifestations of it. So here I am with a birthday right at the beginning of this Pluto and Aquarius shift. Just happened last week on Saturday. Here I am in this birthday energy saying, sit with me in your birthday. Come back to this podcast at your birthday and sit in this energy with me of authenticity. Who are you in version 24 in Pluto and Aquarius? Who are you now? And in that moment of full awareness or curiosity about who you are now, can you honor who you have been all the years before now? Can you stand in the grace, the acceptance, the mastery that is you, all of who you've been, that has brought you to this version 2024? So how do you receive that transmission? I feel like the best way is for me to model it, to share it, to offer you the foundation so that you can sit in the experience with me knowing I get it for myself. I am fully conscious and aware of what is shifting in my life. And because I have that foundational knowing, truth, frequency, you can rest in that. You can come land in that and then have your own experience within that container, this container, you and me in this podcast space. Whew. There you go. That's the energy transmission. So now let's talk. Let's do the human thing and let's actually talk about what the energy transmission means. Because there's so many layers, and we could be afraid of all the layers. We could be resisting it, which, oh my God, don't resist. When you resist, you create so much chaos in your life, and then you have to unpackage all the drama that erupts from all the chaos. Like, do what you want, but the resistance is the hard path. That's the rough one. If you can lean into, with a sense of wonder, here you are, the infinite soul, having a human experience as Pluto moves into Aquarius, as the consciousness of our planet shifts, as humanity goes through a massive, massive transformation. Yeah, you get to have a birthday this year. So why don't we sit in the birthday energy together, and you can just feel whatever you're meant to feel. Awareness is what happen. Your humanness can receive that because your soul meets you in the spaces that I hold. So you can watch it now and look at it through the lens for me, and then you can make a note on your calendar, in your planner, wherever you keep all your notes, of on your birthday, around your birthday, come back to this experience and sitting it fully for yourself. Listen to everything I share and just translate all of it into, what does it mean for me? How do I feel about this? What does this mean for my year, for my birthday, for my transformation in my human journey? And then share it with other people, invite them to do the same. And let's radically redefine how we honor the transition of the birthday. Maybe you already do this, but I think many people, we celebrate and then we just move on. It's another day. There is an invitation to be so present for the moment that you were birthed. The year, the collective frequency of the time in which your soul chose to come land on this planet. And every year since then, the collective frequency has shifted. You have evolved. You have changed. The circumstances of your family, your environment around you have shifted. Every year there's this opportunity to come back to the origin of your birth intention, your birth chart, your blueprint for your human experience, and go, how am I doing with that? How am I measuring up against that original blueprint? Like the soul that came into the baby body inside of your mother's womb and did its thing. The soul that merged and aligned with the cells of the body that created the organs. You co-created your soul, your mother's soul, your father's soul, the energy of the womb. Like you created your humanness, and your soul set the blueprint for that. And all of that happened in however long you were in your mother's womb. 6 months for some babies, 8 months, 9 months. Some went a little late because they needed more time. The co-creation, the dance of infinity coming into an embodiment. You did that. I did that. And so what was imprinted, what was anchored into the frequency of the amniotic fluid that then came into the frequency of the cells of your body, that activated, that lit up every single thing that makes up your body. And then what was the impetus that said, now is the time. This is the moment for the story to begin. Now is when we are birthed. And maybe it was a 48-hour birth experience for your mother. It's not about that. It's what was it for you? Maybe it was a C-section and it was planned and scheduled and you just were pulled out in 1 second. I don't know. Whatever the story, it doesn't really matter. It's what was the impetus that said, now, I the soul, maybe you were born as twins or triplets or quadruplets, I the soul am ready to come out into this human experience and take my first breath. And I know in the moment that I activate that breath, the whole story begins. The timeline is activated. The blueprint is set. Like this, right? The moment you scream, maybe you sigh, I've always envied the woman, now that I'm aware that it was even a possibility, I've envied the women who have orgasmic birth. I'm like, really? That was an option? Why did nobody tell me? I was in the hospital, no movement, numb through my whole body because of the epidural. What was that? I wish it had been an orgasmic birth. That would have been so much better. And also, that was a story that the children I birthed chose. And that was a story that they began in the way that they chose to begin it. I was simply the host for that experience. And same for my mother. There's this whole story in my family. My dad's birthday is 2 days before mine, as I said. And there's this whole story about how the doctors were out golfing. I think I've talked about this here before. The doctors were out golfing, and so my mom couldn't have me on the day that my dad was born. And so she had to wait for 2 days for me to be born. And I believed that story for a long time. What I've reframed it at lately is, I don't think my dad wanted to share his birthday, and I don't think I wanted to share my birthday with my dad. I think we wanted our own birthdays. So we're willing to be close, 2 days apart, but I'm not sharing. And so the moment, and also the specific blueprint I have, even 2 days later from my dad's, is so different. The way that I live my life, the frequency that I embody is so different than my father's. He comes from a different generation. He comes from a different family lineage of stories and than what I do when I combine my mom's story, my dad's story into my story. It's a whole different experience. So, we choose the moment that we take our first breath. We choose every single detail as a soul of the human story that we are going to be opening up. And then when we're here, every year we have the opportunity to come back to our moment of birth, to our moment of choice to exist, to our moment of origin and say, how am I doing? How am I doing compared to that original intention that I had set? Am I in alignment? Am I on track with my goals, my intentions, the big dreams that I had? Without, often there's this judgment or shaming, like I should be somewhere else. So many of my birthdays, I have sat in that energy. I should have been further along. I shouldn't have made this mistake. I should have. What good does any of that do? It just makes us feel bad. Like that does nothing. We're in the new moment of origin every year again on our birthday. So we can look back in honor and reverence and then move forward from there. There's a beautiful poem that Emery Hall wrote, and then her husband Trevor Hall put music to it. And it's a whole album she has, but one of the songs was playing yesterday, and so I put it into our Quietly Listening playlist, which we had last night, Quietly Listening. And so I'll share the link to the playlist in the show description. The song is called I Have Been 1,000 Different Women. And she talks about honoring all the iterations of all the expressions of me that I've been before, all the expressions of you that you have been before. So here's what she writes. I'm going to read it to you because it's so powerful. Make peace with all the women you once were. Lay flowers at their feet. Offer them incense and honey and forgiveness. Honor them and give them your silence. Listen. Bless them and let them be. This has been a life's journey for me. Bless them and let them be. For they are the bones of the temple that you sit in now. They are the rivers of wisdom leading you towards the sea. I have been 1,000 different women by Emery Hall. It is the most beautiful piece of music with poetry, and the way that she expresses this reverence for all the versions of herself that have brought her to this moment is a frequency that I am matching, that I'm calibrating to, and that I'm transmitting to you. Every drop of it has been perfect. Even the parts that we've judged and shamed ourselves for. Even the times in my life where I've burned it to the ground, where I've walked away because I didn't know how to walk away my power. I've walked away hiding, scared, not wanting to be seen. all the times that I thought I could have, it's unnecessary now. That energy is no longer needing to be part of the story. There's a beautiful article by Astro Butterfly that just came out this morning, and I'll put a link to that in the description also. And she talks about the full moon in Leo is very much about, how does she describe it? To be true to oneself. And because it's conjunct and square and all the things, when you talk about, I didn't say that very well. Let me try that again. She talks about Leo and Aquarius. And she says this full moon in Leo is spotlighting how we are true to ourselves. Pluto in Aquarius at the same time, and the sun in Aquarius is saying, how are we integrating that with the world that we live in? Because the reality is continuing to evolve. And if we are true to ourselves as we continue to evolve with the world around us, we're in harmony. If we're true to ourselves, but we're resisting the Aquarius, the world that's continuing, there's there's a lack of alignment or a friction, because they're not in harmony together. And so she really offers this beautiful writing about how to sit with all of this, how to go into that understanding, that deeper understanding of the Leo energy within ourselves, that full moon illumination, and then how to really align with or deepen into the potential of Pluto and Aquarius. What is shifting, how the reality is changing, and how we can align with it. So, on your birthday, whenever you watch this, I would suggest listening to the Quietly Listening playlist, reading the article from Astro Butterfly, listening to the poem, which Emery Hall writes, and then there's a Zen card called the Master. There's so much to tell you. So much going on. So many beautiful nuggets and little pieces for you. At the new moon in Capricorn, when I did my astrology reading, I pulled a card in the extended reading that is called the Master. It's from the Osho Zen deck. And the Master shows this sort of Dumbledore figure with the long hair and the long beard, and there's a full moon in the background, and everything's sort of morphing in the back forest behind him, and his face is like steady and clear and looking right at you. And I said in the extended reading, this card is a message to come back to at the full moon in Leo. It's about how are you the master of yourself? Not the master over other people, the master of yourself. And there's a beautiful commentary in that card that just offers you some reflections to sit with, to go into. So that whole package of the new moon extended reading, and there's a meditation that goes with it, and the original reading on YouTube, all of that is available for $33. If you decide you need a little extra support, you can tap into that at your birthday, and all these little magical pieces will be waiting for you. What else? Okay, so let's come back to me, which will then allow you to come back to you. And how am I doing on time? I'm doing really well. Okay. One of the ways that I've been exploring the origin of my birth and the version I am now, as I'm about to turn 53, is through the lens of human design. And I've been watching some videos from Melanie Ann Lair and Amy Elizabeth in this Alpha HD division that Melanie created. And she has a whole video for the 5-line and the 1-line, 2 separate videos. I am a 5-1, so I won't get into a whole human design definition right now, but they are redefining the old structure of human design, the old labels. And so they've given these new energies, these new frequencies to tap into that are really about your strengths, your gifts, the magic that you bring to the world if you look through the lens of human design. And so they renamed the 1-line from the investigator to the foundation, and the 5-line from the heretic to the one. What I get from that is, let me turn my timer off. What I get from that is I am the one who builds foundations, who creates containers, safe spaces, works of knowledge, structures that I'm an authority on, that then allows you, because I'm leading, to land into those spaces and feel held and feel safe. Having them reframe that for me has been huge this week. It's been such an empowering shift on the story I've always had in the past, that these old versions of me, these old iterations of me that knew I had to change, knew I had to evolve, would burn down the old story, would abandon or leave the old situation in order for the new one to be created or built. And what Melanie says often is, you don't have to destroy the old while you're building the new. There's room for both. And you can arrive in a moment and say, I am complete with that version of me that I've been. And I honor and love that version of me that I've been, which is what Emery Hall says in her poem. And I am birthing a new version of myself. I am evolving or sharing the next expression of who I am here to be. So I sit here, the eve of my 53rd birthday, so peaceful and steady and absolutely in awe of all the versions I've ever been before. I've been so many iterations of myself. I've been 1,000 different women in 52 and a half, 53 years. And now I'm about to become, express this next version of myself. And I feel peaceful in this transition. I feel like thrilled, excited, delighted, like such a sense of anticipation. I don't even know who I'm going to be, but I can feel like the fun, the joy, the spark, the creative expression of me that's ready to move and come alive in a way that is more than I've ever been before. I had an awareness this morning that one of the things that I have often said in the containers that I've held is, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be right here. And it was said from an intention of, I've got this container, you're safe, you can land here, you can be in this space with me, I've got you. I'm not going anywhere. And what I realized today is, that's the message I've been sending out into the universe for a while. I'm not going anywhere. Like, I am stuck. I am staying in this energy, this frequency, and I'm not evolving. I'm not going anywhere. Or, I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm not over there. I'm not evolving. I'm right here. And those intentions were really beautiful for the spaces that I hold, which is, I've got you and you're safe. But the message I was sending to the universe is not the message that I want to be sending anymore. The message I'm sending now is, I'm on the move. I'm on the move. I'm on the rise. I am here for magical evolution. Like, that's the path that we're taking. And I've got you. I've got you, because the containers I hold are based with such wisdom and compassion and heart and presence. And the containers can move. We can all move. We don't have to sit still and stay the same and be in the same frequency in order for us to be safe. We can be in the community spaces and be on the move and be on the rise. Can you feel that? It's like so liberating. It's so expansive and so bubbly and so like champagne fizzy and also steady. I know how to move and move with people. And so I can feel like this version 2024 of me is big and wide and moving and rising. It's like, I don't know, like watching a hot air balloon start to take up off the ground. Like, we're going, and also there's this basket underneath the hot air balloon and we've got it. Like, we're doing this thing. So I'm really, I was really excited. I'm very, all the feels. I'm all the feels today. So for my birthday, I have so many people who I'm so surrounded by love and friendship and like just the most beautiful humans. And so I have a lot of people who ask, like, what do you want? And how do you want to celebrate? And what can I do for you? And like these beautiful, generous offers. And so I was thinking about that this morning, like what actually would I love for my birthday? So here's what I would share with you. And maybe this is also when you watch this for your birthday. It's an invitation for you to really sit with what do you want? Like what kind of birthday gifts are the best gifts for you? And can you communicate that with the people around you? Can you tell them how you want to celebrate your birthday? Kind of like, when a baby is birthed, what if the baby could actually, we kind of do as souls, like what if you could actually create the perfect environment in which to arrive? Like all of it. And maybe we do, but I don't know. I think our births could be a little more fun, but I totally digress. What I decided for my birthday, what I would love is for you to share who I am with the people that you care about, that you love. So the podcasts that I have that somehow resonate with you or touch you or spark something awake in you, can you share those with the people that you care about? If there are posts that I make on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, that you're like, yes, like this, I love this, can you take the extra moment and then share those with the people that you care about? And that way, spread the message of the work that I do. Help me expand the impact that I know I'm here to make as a leader of consciousness. Can we ripple energy out wider and wider? That would be the most beautiful way to celebrate my birth, because I know in the moment that I chose to take my first breath, I came here with a megaphone. I was loud and clear, like Vivienne has arrived and she has some big messages for the world. And so the more who are playing with that energy with me and spreading the messages, then the more I'm in alignment with who I'm here to be. And I love doing it organically. I love that it's one person shares me with another person, shares me with another person, and like that's how the ripples go. That's the kind of gift that would just light me up. And if you feel like you want to drop into any of my spaces and go, hey, happy birthday, you matter, you're amazing, Viv, I love what you created, I love how you move through the world, like come share a little message, that would be so fun. Yeah, and then just send me good vibes, right? Like send me all the love and all the play, and I'll feel it and I'll receive it. And on your birthday, drop me a note and say, hey, I'm watching your podcast on my birthday. Send me some love. And I'll go, oh my God, absolutely. And I will stop and I will pause and I will like send you the love and you'll feel it. And that's Pluto in Aquarius. That's like the magic of consciousness and energy and love when it ripples and multiplies and the collective starts to shift. Okay, there you go. That's the energy transmission. The other thing I would also suggest if you feel inspired is I love birthday sessions. I love being with someone live, like in a Zoom call or on the phone, and or in person if you're here locally, and tapping into your frequency at your birth. Birthday sessions are so fun. So fun. So if you ever want to book that for yourself or for someone you love, you can just go to my website and it's under You and Me activation sessions, and you can just say in the notes, it's for a birthday, and it's so much fun. So that is also awaiting you. All right, that's what I got. Have an amazing day. Send all the love, and I will see you next week. Thank you for tuning into this vibration of pure love. Let's take this message of Gaia's love out into all of our relationships and communities today. So much love from my heart to yours.